17.5 points. We'll use that in the team meeting today.
If you're not a Notre Dame fan, you really don't believe in us right now.
Time to go.
What you waiting for? Are you ready? Okay, say no more.
I mean, it's going to be a great atmosphere. Just two great schools competing in opening week.
We have to put them away!
The first thing you have to do, start off strong against Ohio State.
It'll be one of the more electric atmospheres that we've had in a long time in the Horseshoe.
Now something rare and special to kick off the season. Just the 7th collision ever between Midwestern Giants, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. The teams with the 2 highest winning percentages in the history of the sport. Kicking off the centennial season of one of this sport's great venues, Ohio Stadium, the Horseshoe, where legends have made their mark for 10 decades. And a heavily anticipated opener. Welcome to Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Capital One. And this presentation of the Big Ten on ABC, part of Xfinity Kickoff Week. And welcome, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. Folks, we're pumped up to be on a college campus as Notre Dame and Ohio State collide for the first time on a campus in more than a quarter century. This game was scheduled like 6 years ago, and the fan bases have been waiting that long for this moment.
Yeah, the fans have been waiting. The coaches, I think, are amped up and excited. And I know the players, these are the kind of games that they want to play in with a big stage, big-time opponents. And just to see the uniforms in the pregame on the same field together, it definitely gets you excited.
Begins a season of great anticipation here at Ohio State, the second choice to win the championship after Alabama, trying to erase the bad taste of what they call a down year. They won 11 games, Kirk, but they gave up 12 touchdowns in those last 2 games. Defense let them down. It's been a big focus.
It's been a big focus. They brought in a new defensive coordinator in Jim Knowles from Oklahoma State. Much more sophisticated scheme. We'll talk more about that in a bit. And for Ohio State, it's all reliable. Tonight, it's showcasing a lot of high-profile names that are maybe as talented as anybody in the country. Of course, it starts with C.J. Stroud, the talented quarterback. He's got a lot of people to be able to distribute the ball to. They can run, they can throw. Boy, Chris, you and I sat down with him yesterday. He has matured and grown so much from the year that he had last year. He was quick to point out how good he's good because of who he has to work with. Trevion Henderson maybe gets overlooked, but tonight Ohio State really wants to be balanced. They want to feed him the football. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Remember him in a Rose Bowl, over 300 yards receiving. I would argue he's maybe the top receiver in the country, and a couple young receivers on the outside. So if you're Notre Dame, with Al Golden as a defensive coordinator, Marcus Freeman, who played here, they are loading up to try to figure out a way to slow this Ohio State offense down. And where do you start, the running game or with C.J. Stroud?
Hard to believe the script for Marcus Freeman's first regular season game. He played at Ohio State when Brian Kelly, who was the winningest coach in program history, went to LSU. Freeman was the player's choice. They pushed for him, and here's the moment they found that he would be their next head coach. Age 36, the second youngest head coach in Power 5. He's a father of 6. He's still learning on the job. He admits it. And to come back where he played and was a grad assistant, it's an incredible night for him.
I've known him since he was in high school as a Wayne Warrior in the Dayton, Ohio area. I can tell you right there, he's got a Zen-like personality about him. He'll need to get his team to kind of block out the noise and weather the storm early in this game, get their feet grounded, because Ohio State at home likes to attack and try to take you out of the game early.
He's reminded his team they are, in fact, 17.5-point underdogs. 19-22. The Horseshoe opened. The crowd about 5 times bigger tonight. This will be fun.
Premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Now the moment is almost here. This was a tasty headline game in the opening Saturday of college football, and the Buckeyes out to protect home turf and begin what they hope will be a championship drive. Ryan Day acknowledging this team is loaded with talent, but they did not achieve any of their main 3 goals a year ago. Plenty of fuel for the offseason. 103,000 strong. Welcome to Scarlet and Gray. Marcus Freeman was an assistant coach with Cincinnati when they came into this place. So he has experience there, but the atmosphere curve wasn't quite the same. We talked a little bit about Freeman's story tremendous family strength there. His dad, Michael, served in the Air Force. That's where he met Sean, his wife, when he was serving. She came across to the States, and Marcus talks about being brought up in an upbringing of tremendous hard work, but also respect and love. He and his wife Joanne raising 6 kids.
And the cool thing is he brings his kids to practice very often, and his dad is a die-hard Ohio State fan, and of course he's supporting his son with his colors on tonight.
Those are his regular seats he's had for years. It takes a lot for Michael to not cheer for the Buckeyes, but
right.
Blood is pretty thick, and he's got the Notre Dame gear on tonight. Marcus Freeman, kind enough to wear a microphone in this big moment for him. Let's get a taste of that.
So how's it feel being back within the visitors side?
Good. I was telling Chris, I said I was here 3 years ago at Cincinnati. I said it's a little bit different coming in here as the head coach with Notre Dame. You know what I mean? I said it's a little bit different. I didn't think it was going to be that much, but tuck it away. Tuck the ball away. All right, Cap. Lead us, man.
Yes, sir.
Lead us. No matter what, lead us. Yep. All right, man. Have fun. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
That's why you're here. All right? Love you, man. Let's go.
And a special moment always in an Ohio State home game, the dotting of the I. This goes back to the 1930s. And Bradley Kropp from Granville, Ohio, a senior majoring in music education, the honor of the sousaphone dotting the I. This has been the Nissan pregame drive. Kickoff from Columbus is coming up next. Now
Kickoff week. Head football coach of Notre Dame. Just saying the phrase sends shivers.
Don't forget, man, today, we're gonna win. Fight.
Enter Marcus Freeman, the latest at the helm of the Fighting Irish. And what a way to start.
This game is now up to a 17.5-point spread.
Say 17.5 points. We'll use that in the team meeting today. It's good to know.
The Irish tried their luck in the horseshoe, where for 100 years, the battle cry of the Buckeyes has welcomed opponents and broken them. Two teams that have come to mean college football. The stars, the trophies, the titles. Always measured against their past while marching into tomorrow. And the future begins tonight.
Star power on the field and on the sidelines. Ryan Day was in Marcus Freeman's position 4 years ago, but he has quickly established himself as an elite head coach. The pipeline of talent for the NFL has been flowing. Lost in the championship game a couple years ago. In his 6 years calling the plays, 4 as a head coach, over 40 points a game in all of them. But still, those goals eluded him a year ago. That one Big Ten loss was the loss in the Big House a year ago. Holly Rowe with Coach Day.
Well, Coach Day, there's so much talk about the talent on this team for the Buckeyes. What do you want people to know about that talent?
Well, this whole preseason, it's been about skill, discipline, and toughness. And so I hope today it's going to be on display because these guys have been working really hard for this moment right here.
You talk about toughness. C.J. Stroud showing another level of leadership. You guys just shared a smile and a laugh. What are you talking about before a game like this in this environment?
This is what we've been talking about for a long time. Unbelievable atmosphere. Now it's time to go really work on what we so hard we've worked on. Go cash in on that.
Thank you, Coach.
The toughness was questioned because teams like Oregon here and Michigan ran over them. It's special because it's the first meeting on a campus since 1996. The first meeting in 35 was one of the games of the century. That's a comeback by Notre Dame, and there was the hero of the Rose Bowl, Smith and Jigba. Jaden fielding to boot it away. It's finally here. The Irish and the Buckeyes in Columbus. Chris Tyree, the starting tailback, is deep. Line drive kick. Tyree from the 3. Tries to get the edge, but he's swarmed under by the coverage team flying down. They stop him at the 15. Chip Trayanum in the stop. And Day won the toss deferred, put that defense right on the field, and here comes Tyler Buckner making his first career start for Notre Dame.
And that's the most important thing. First career start. You see last year he was a change of pace guy to Jack Cohn a year ago. Right now Notre Dame just wants to ease him into this game, get him comfortable. Dual threat guy. He can throw it, but very effective running the football. Need to do it tonight.
Comes from San Diego. Roderick Estime, number 7, is the tailback to his right. And the first pass is complete. It's caught on the edge by Lorenzo Styles, who gallops down the sideline, makes a cut, an electric opening play. There is a flag down way back near the line of scrimmage, so hold on.
He came in high. You wonder if that might be a call on Ohio State roughing the quarterback. Might be added on to the end of this play.
The Tuimoloau came in there?
Yes. Ohio State brought a corner blitz on the first play.
Foul. Defense. Low to the head. 15-yard penalty. First down.
ACC crew, that's Notre Dame's regular official. So 54 yards plus 15 on the penalty.
Tuimoloau comes in a little bit high. As I said, they brought the corner blitz. I think maybe ask Bill about that. I don't know. He got him low initially, Bill, and then he came up high. But the point is, nice job of, you talked about settling Buckner in. Great way to do that with a quick pass to get the ball out in a hurry.
Yeah, it was a secondary act to the head that got the flag.
Estime, big physical back from Louisiana, falls forward down inside the 15.
Remember, this is Ohio State defense we talked about in the open. Changed coordinators, brought in Jim Knowles as a new defensive scheme, built around stopping the run, being aggressive at the line of scrimmage, linebackers getting downhill, safeties, they play with 3 safeties, a big part of the run support. Jim Knowles right there in the middle.
Improved every year as defenses at Oklahoma State. Inherited a mess and built an elite defense in 4 years. Logan Diggs is now the tailback. 2nd and 7. Diggs swarm behind the line. Very quick penetration by Michael Hall Jr.
Michael Hall in the middle of this defense. They said that he's had as good a camp as anybody on this defensive line with the ability to penetrate. And they came into camp wondering who might take over up front. They said, guys, Michael Hall is dominant. Wait till you see him. If he's as good as he's been in scrimmages, he'll be tough for them to handle.
3rd and 9. Tyree, the 3rd different back in this opening series for Notre Dame, is a dangerous receiver out of the backfield. Buckeyes are showing some pressure here.
Yeah, big part of this defense is disguising on 3rd downs.
Tyree motions out. Empty backfield. They rush 4. Buckner cannot escape, and he'll be slammed down. That looked like a design run all the way. And after that 54-yard gain and the penalty on the opening play, Buckeye defense stiffened. Steel Chambers with the stop.
Yeah, they're trying to sneak a quarterback draw in here. You'll see the center release, but Ohio State not fooled at all. Playing zone, showed man, dropped his zone. So what that does, all eyes on the quarterback. They were in position, not fooled at all there on that 3rd down play in the red zone.
Notre Dame goes to the transfer portal. Grad transfer Blake Group was a very solid kicker at Arkansas State. Diminutive, but he's got good range. This from 33 for the early lead, and he just does sneak it through that upright. To the Irish with the electric opening play, strike first, but only a field goal. AT&T 5G Skycam, zooming over the sea of scarlet. Don't forget to check out the AT&T 5G Skycast on ESPN3 and the app. Not too warm, but very humid. The initial forecast for thunderstorms tonight has changed and improved, so looks like we may stay dry tonight.
Let's hope so. If you're Notre Dame, you got to be happy with a first possession, a big play to be able to get you into field goal range and coming away with points on that opening drive.
Zach Yoakum won the competition to kick off for the Irish. He drives it to Abuka at the goal line. And Mecca Abuka, one of the young receivers who have an enhanced role with the departure of 2 first-rounders on offense, takes it out to the 25. And here is C.J. Stroud. He's not yet 21, but as you said, he's like a 25-year-old NFL pro. Hard to improve on last season, but he's worked hard on some 5 points in the offseason.
And you and I last year had a chance to really get to know him pretty well. We did so many of his games, and boy, just a maturity about him. When we sat down with him yesterday, the intensity, the focus, the look in his eyes. Growing up in the Los Angeles area, referenced Kobe Bryant a few times as far as his approach and the attack mentality that he wants to have, leading this, not just the offense, but the team this year.
Added about 15 pounds, working hard in the weight room. Ravion Henderson is the featured back, another Heisman candidate on this offense, and he cuts it back for a 3-yard gain. There's a flag down. His helmet came off, and that was the offensive tackle, DeJuan Jones, who lost his hat and will have to leave the game. Here's the Chick-fil-A impact players.
Flag came in late. Might have been what you're referencing. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Trevion Henderson, they want to be balanced tonight. Of course, we know about the receivers. Isaiah Foskey on one side.
57. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. Player number 79 can stay in the game.
Adebila got the hand up and on the helmet of Jones, who's allowed to come back in the game because of the penalty, and that moves the football to the 44. Stroud, pocket collapses, and they've got him. Notre Dame brings some pressure, and that's the man, Howard Cross.
Well, Cross gets home right here, but the linebacker pressure occupies the offensive line. Cross is undersized in the middle, but wins inside, and eventually, you see Stroud had to step away from the blitz up front, but Matthew Jones just not quick enough to the outside. And how about Cross? They talked about how quick he can be.
Buckeyes playing quick, low throw to Smith and Jigba, incomplete. Yeah, Cross, big, fast, agile, quick, violent hands. That's what you pretty much need to be an elite defensive lineman.
Yeah, it works. You don't have to be a big guy if you can use that kind of quickness. You know, we've talked so much the last week or so about Jim Knowles. What did not get heard or talked about much was Al Golden coming in as a defensive coordinator. He was with the Bengals last year in their Super Bowl run as a linebacker coach the last couple of years, bringing some NFL wrinkles, especially to this defense on third down.
30th year in coaching for Golden. His defense trying to get off the field on 3rd and long. Stroud flush, complete underneath, but way short of the marker. It's a Ibuka. So that Notre Dame defense with that sack kills the drive. Brandon Joseph, the grad transfer from Northwestern, was there.
Yeah, they show blitz and then they back out. You only have 3 Notre Dame pass rushers, which allows them to have 8 back in coverage. Took away all of his primary receivers, forced to kind of just come underneath there, and Notre Dame does a very good job after the personal foul getting off the field.
Joseph back to return the punt. He's a guy that had an interception, that circus one-handed grab against Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game a couple of years ago. He talked a little noise this week. He certainly made himself a target for Ohio State fans. Jesse Mirko rolls in, boots it, and Joseph lets it go over his head, but that's beautiful execution on the boot. And it's down inside the 5, so Mirko does his job after the Irish defense comes up with a stop. 48-yard punt. Knocked dead right there. Well, tomorrow night, more college football on ABC. All-State Louisiana kickoff game. Florida State, how will they do? Can they have a bounce-back year? And Irish fans will keep an eye on Brian Kelly's LSU debut. Labor Day night, Dabo and the number 4 ranked Clemson Tigers against Georgia Tech. Chick-fil-A kickoff game in Atlanta. So Tyler Buckner backed up at the 5 for the Irish second possession. Estime from the goal line tries to bounce it, can't get there. He'll be tackled behind the line, a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, he gets in there again. He's also not only great at rushing the quarterback, also very good at defending the run. You know, Tommy Reese, the offensive coordinator from Notre Dame, now he's backed up inside his own 5. He's going to have to be careful here. He's trying to be smart with a young quarterback. You don't want to turn the ball over and make a big mistake here at this point in the game and where the ball is.
Serious challenge in your first college start. Played a little bit last year, but mostly in mop-up duty. Whistle before and a false start will back up Notre Dame half the distance. You practice against deafening
Prior
noise.
to the snap, false start. Offense, number 4. Half the distance to the goal line. Still second down.
Tommy Reese said, turn the speakers up to 11. I want it as loud as they can go to get ready for this, and still you see them early miscue.
Yeah, and he also talked about using silent count a lot, you know, and they have their own version of silent count. The quarterback and his center are on the same page, the entire offensive line. It's the loudest part of the stadium here at Ohio State, and we're closed in. So this is tough for the offensive line, not just the quarterback, but the offensive line on having a good get-off.
Empty backfield. They rush 3. Buckner takes off. Solid call to gain a little yardage. Knocked down to the 7 by Chambers.
Ohio State just playing that mug linebacker with Jack Sawyer, 3 down linemen. So he's got a little bit of space there. Good call by Reese, just getting a little bit of breathing room. Let's see what he opts to do here on 3rd down and long. And if position he puts his young quarterback here.
You said so much attention for Ohio State on 3rd down defense. Very poor in this area. For an elite team, it was shocking how ineffective they were a year ago. 3rd down defense. Michael Mayer, the elite tight end, motions out of the backfield. He's left slot now. Now comes back to the right side. They'll move him around a lot. They use too much play clock.
Marcus Freeman jogging down, gets the timeout.
First charge timeout.
That was a fast jog. He saw it. His young quarterback did not. So crucial, as you said, to avoid a mistake down here if you're Notre Dame. A promising start for the 17-point underdogs, but a 3rd and long coming up, pinned back against their goal line.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
87 years ago, one of the original games of the century in this sport. Ohio State led 13-0. Notre Dame 2 very late touchdowns. Snatch a win, part of this great century-long history of this place. We'll talk about favorite memories, great moments, great players who've been here.
Remember, we took a break there. Marcus Freeman, seeing that play clock, ran down to get the timeout, but we're still, what are they going to do with Buckner here inside their own 10-yard line? They go empty, means it's either a draw or the ball's coming out fast.
Ohio State showing some pressure up the middle. Let's see if they bring it. Well, they pull back to spy the quarterback. Half pocket collapses, and he checks it down underneath to Michael Mayer, who had a phenomenal year last year. Notre Dame record 71 receptions. That does not gain enough yardage. And here comes the punt team.
And really good awareness from Ohio State, anticipating they'd go to the big fella if they threw the ball. Lathan Ransom, the safety, they showed it, they dropped. Now you got to know exactly where he's going. Looks left, knows he's coming back. See how close he is to the first down marker? But 12, Ransom, a safety, put his heels at that first down marker, knowing exactly where he needed to prevent the big tight end from getting.
John Sott, grad transfer from Harvard, will do the punting, and look who's back at the 45, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's dangerous with the football as anybody in the sport. It's a short pick from Sott. Jigba won't have a chance to return it, and a Notre Dame bounce will carry the football into Ohio State territory. So great field position for Stroud and company for Ohio State's second possession. Hello for the first time tonight to Kevin McGandhi back with us this year. Hey, Kevin.
Good evening, Chris. Here's the RB Studio update. Number 1, Alabama hosting Utah State. And Bryce Young, Heisman winner from a season ago, to the new guy, the Georgia transfer, Jermaine Burke. Right now, 10-0 tied. That game on the SEC Network.
Georgia off to a pretty good start, pounding the Atlanta.
Wow, did they ever? Didn't miss a beat. All those great players off to the NFL, and they looked as good as they could today.
Smith and Jigba circles back, catches it behind the line, gets a block from Harrison on the edge, and is hammered down hard, loses his helmet as he's knocked out of the 49 by Brandon Joseph, who let him know.
That is a big hit. This secondary can run. Chris, you brought him up a little bit later. He comes into this game with confidence. He talked openly about when he was at Northwestern. Early in his career, they played Ohio State in a Big Ten championship game, and he didn't walk away very impressed, and he let it be known. It's not about when or if we win, it's when we win in Columbus.
Yeah, they noticed that here. Take it to Henderson. Stroud looks to throw downfield, and hollering for a flag, and they get one. Cam Hart was in coverage on Ibuka.
Well, these corners are being asked to hold up one-on-one. Looks like his hand grabbed the hold of him.
Defense, number 5. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Let's keep it up at the top. Looks like he grabbed his arm. The jersey. Gets a hold of the jersey. Pretty easy call for the official.
Cam Hart, maybe he thought he was preventing a touchdown. He came to Notre Dame as a wide receiver. But plays the cornerback position with pretty good instincts and a lot of confidence.
You can only do so much. You can't protect your guys and prevent them from being in one-on-one situations, whether it's corners on the outside, nickelbacks in the inside against Jackson Smith and Jigba. You're going to have to hold up.
Third Irish penalty already, moves the ball to the 35. Stroud from the pocket, launches downfield again. Caught, touchdown. Oh, incomplete. Harrison had a good chance as he was diving. His hand on it, couldn't complete the catch.
Yeah, I think the ground knocked the ball loose when he came down, unable to complete the process. You're right, that's where you thought he had it. It looks like the toe touch, but again, the ball comes out.
Here's the progressive pylon cam. His toe was dragging, but he's got to hold the ball to the ground.
Yep. Once you go down, you got to hold on to it. Progressive pylon cam showing you a really good look. How about they go right back to that matchup? Go right back after Cam Hart.
Now they swing it in the flat. Ibuka is knocked down. That's a solid tackle made there in the open field.
Really good job by Tariq Bracy, 28. Bo Bauer makes the play. Good job showing sideline to sideline speed, but I thought 28 did a heck of a job of fighting off that block, forcing him back to the inside where he had help.
Bauer's a veteran, man. This is his 52nd game, but one start. He's been a role player, now counted on to do more. 3rd and 6. Pressure picked up. Ball out quickly. Gets made on the edge by Ibuka. Galloping down the sidelines. Touchdown. With the short field, the Buckeyes strike quickly to take the lead. One of the young guys being counted on to be a key weapon for Ohio State this season.
Well, when you saw pre-snap from C.J. Stroud, there's LeBron James excited. He sees one safety up, the other safety over here, tells him he's got one-on-one. I'm telling you, make a mental note. They're going after 5, Cam Hart to the field. Throws that away from the safety to the outside, away from the corner, and then he believes in his receivers to be able to make plays after the catch, and a nice job by Ibuka to be able to get it into the end zone.
His first career touchdown, guy who caught just 9 passes a year ago, but you're going to see number 2 all over the place for Ohio State this season. Another accurate delivery by C.J. Stroud. And Ohio State claims the lead. There is a flag on the field in the PAT, so we'll check that.
So they went after 3 plays in a row. 3 times they went after him.
Is good. After the play. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Receiving team, number 7. That 15-yard penalty enforced on this ensuing kickoff. Timeout.
So Isaiah Foskey is flagged. Penalties have been a problem for Notre Dame in the early going. But the Buckeyes strike quickly with good field position. 4 plays, 54 yards.
Stroud. 17-0 on the SEC Network. Back to Chris and Kirk.
Kickoff from midfield because of the penalty, and Fielding just hammers it through the end zone. So the Irish had that quick strike, but since not much in the last 6 plays. Jack Cohn came in from Wisconsin, played very well in his one season. The quarterback, Kyron Williams, was the running game. Kevin Austin, fortunately out injured. So these are some new faces and 2 guys in the middle who are back from last year. We've seen Buckner. Brandon Joseph, will see a lot of him tonight on defense and as a returner.
Tommy Rees talked about using the first couple series to be able to show a lot of different personnel groupings and formations, especially week 1 with a new defensive coordinator, trying to get a handle on how they're playing and go from there.
Irish with 2 tight ends in the game. Off play action, Buckner dumps it down. Going to try to get the ball as many times as possible to Mayer. But again, they tackle him soon after the catch. That was Hickman.
Boy, just tremendous awareness and speed. Watch here. He was going to follow 87 all the way across. Knows that ball could be thrown to him out in the flat. And as soon as the big man makes the catch, how about that play? It's a lot easier looking on TV than it is to make that in person.
A little tactical tempo. It's Mayer making the catch again. Tommy Rees doesn't use it a whole lot. The thought was maybe they'd like to slow things down, keep the ball away from Ohio State. That's up to 3rd and 4.
That's an RPO where you can hand that football off, but you have a matchup where Mayer's against an undersized corner, so you think you're going to win that. Just pick up some positive yards. Give yourself a chance here on 3rd down and 4.
0 for 2 on 3rd down in the early going. Yeah, they practice against this noise. Speakers aren't quite the same as the real thing. Buckner, he'll be driven back and sacked. On the blitz, it's Tommy Eichenberg, the co-captain.
For the Notre Dame offensive line, they shifted their offensive line to the left because they saw the potential of pressure. What ends up happening is they slide left, but eventually 35 is able to get through. When the offensive line slid up, it's exactly what Jim Knowles wanted. Everybody to come down, and then you bring 35 wrapped around that, and you're able to get pressure and zeroes in on Tyler Buckner without him even really being able to adjust or see it.
2 straight 3-and-outs for the Irish offense. Sott drives a punt. Once again, it's so short that it can't be fielded. It's Ibuka who lets it roll dead. And that's a good Notre Dame roll down to the 28-yard line. We covered Ohio State's game against Utah in the Rose Bowl. Again, Stroud and Smith-Njigba starring without Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. It was a game unlike any pitch and catch combo I've ever had in the Rose Bowl, or really any other bowl game, period. 347 and 3 touchdowns.
Just incredible. You know, we were talking to him sitting down with both of them yesterday together, and he just said, man, it was just very humbly, just, I don't know, I guess we were just in a zone. Yeah, you were in a zone. Look at the records that they tied or broke.
They needed every one of those points, though. Utah was right there, and Cam Rising, the quarterback, knocked out of the game when it was tied early in the 4th quarter. Ohio State with a chip shot to win it at the end. Mayan Williams, who spells Henderson this year, big physical back, runs through a tackle, and he's a hard-running back. It's 8 yards. Holly?
You guys talk about the connection with C.J. Stroud and Jackson Smith-Njigba. It actually started in 2019 at the All-American game. They were on the same team. They are best friends. They went to each other's homes this offseason. They even went on vacation together in the Virgin Islands. They're very close.
Playing with some tempo as they move to 6. It's a low throw. That's not often seen by Stroud. He bounced it to Harrison. C.J. said yesterday he was so grateful to really the entire family, the Smith-Njigba family. Jackson's dad helped out C.J. when he first got to Ohio State. This is a guy that learned young how to live without. $7 in his pocket when he got here to college, and Jackson's dad was very generous, and he said his family.
Yeah, he was quick to point that out, and he just has never forgotten how, before he became the C.J. Stroud that everybody is in awe of. They were there for him, and he's never forgotten that. They created a special bond.
C.J., who didn't grow up with much, has proven to be a very generous guy. We'll detail that a little bit later. 3rd and 2 here. Williams is the back. He's got the ball, but he runs right into a clogged front, and the Irish defense stops him for no gain. It's Howard Cross making a second strong play of the game time.
Well, they do a good job here of eating up the offensive line, and Bertrand's able to 27 kind of clean this up. But look at the line of scrimmage is going to be a war tonight. And on this one, on 3rd and short, Notre Dame wins it and pushes Ohio State back, keeps them short. I thought Ohio State might fake that and get it out to the perimeter, but they try to. It's a big emphasis for them is being more physical at the line of scrimmage. But again, the Irish win that battle on 3rd and short.
Marcus Freeman, no surprise. A lot of coaches have said this, thought this is really going to be about O-lines and D-lines on both sides tonight. You're right, that was a win for the Irish. Mirko into punt. Joseph inside his 20. Will retreat, make a fair catch. He has some space, but elects to make the fair catch at about the 13-yard line. So the Irish hanging in here, scored first, 54 yards in their first play. Ohio State and Stroud answering.
Yeah, and Notre Dame, a big thing they wanted to do is try to win the field position. And right now, Ohio State special teams is doing a very good job of trying to pin them in this first quarter. It seems like every time they get the ball, they're inside their own 20-yard line, starting with the opening kickoff. And it's allowing Jim Knowles and this new defense to be pretty aggressive, especially on 3rd down. That's where his creativity can take over.
He's known as a very gifted, instinctive defensive play caller. Backed up again. Irish have had poor field position since that opening field goal drive, and they hammer straight ahead, lowering the shoulder as Estime Hickman got flat on that play. Gained about 8.
Tyreek Williams shot a gap, got to the inside there, but unable to make the tackle in the backfield. Gives you an idea how physical Estime can be.
230-pounder, sophomore from New York State. Estime again shows good patience. He's got good feet for a big physical back. First down across the 25.
He came into camp as the guy that was probably the 3rd guy, was sitting on the outside looking in. Tommy Rees telling us this week he's a downhill guy, physical back, but make no mistake, there may be a chance he runs out there with the first unit because of how good he has been. He is an every down kind of back. Even he's always at 225, 230. He can catch the ball, he can run downhill, and he can hit you with some quickness as well.
3 backs with very different skill sets that will be featured all season for Notre Dame. Estime's got it again. Spins out of a tackle. Looked like there was nothing there. And gets a few yards.
In a game where you're trying to take the air out of the ball, keep C.J. Stroud and Ohio State offense on the sideline, that little spin move at the line of scrimmage, and we've seen that a couple times where he's got hit close to the backfield, and he didn't go down. Ohio State better wrap him up. That time it was Cody Simon unable to bring him down. So you're talking about potential loss of 1 or 2 right there. Gets out of that with that spin move and the physical power that he has, and he picks up some positive yardage.
Flip it in the flat. That's Tyree. He and Logan Diggs were both in the game. Tyree, very natural, instinctive receiver. Played some slot in high school, so it's natural for him.
Absolutely, and how thin they are at receiver with some of the injuries. That's a play that he's going to have to make. They will line him out there quite a bit.
Quick moving first quarter. Ohio State had the football for just 11 plays. That was long enough for Stroud to strike to Ibuka. But Notre Dame hanging around here. End of 1 in Columbus. 7-3 Ohio State. Set for the start of the second quarter. Notre Dame trying to build a drive here, facing a 3rd and 2. Have not converted on their first 3 third-down attempts. Tyler Buckner, a 5-for-5 start, Kirk. After the long pass in the first play, it's been underneath stuff.
3rd and 2. Don't forget his ability to run zone read or any kind of run game from the quarterback, or get him on the edge where he can get the ball into the flat or have the option to run it.
Having to wait for the 2002 championship team, which just honored at halftime. This is slowly ambling off the field. The Irish are Waiting for that to happen. Here we go, 3rd and 2. Tyree is the back. And the Irish trying to get lined up here. Mayer is in the slot to the left.
Ransom across from him.
Buckner looking in that direction. Launches downfield. Jump ball. Is it intercepted on the carom? Or caught? Salerno went up. It was juggled. Denzel Burke was there.
He's a 5th-year walk-on. The ball is underthrown. Ball looked like it was tipped by Burke, but how about the walk-on, who they say,
my goodness,
this quarterback Buckner trusts 29 as much as any receiver on this roster. Never gives up on it and hauls it in.
He hasn't played much, but he will be ready. That was the scouting report. 29-yard gain. What a play. Buckner across the middle has a man wide open. Kevin Bowman, the tight end, hauls it in. The Irish are threatening.
Watch this, the fake to the sweep. Watch what it does to the backers, and it opens it up right down the middle. Nice crease here. Fake out to the outside. Linebackers clear out. Big opening and an easy throw for Buckner. Nice call there by Tommy Rees.
So you've never started a game, Kirk. You get one of the hardest possible starting assignments in college football in your debut, and you start out 7 for 7. Freeman said his quarterback had the right look in the eye. Poised, not awed by this occasion. On 1st down, Tyree makes a cut, knocked down at the 7.
Tommy Rees deserves a lot of credit, and that entire offensive staff with the plan they put together in this environment. They knew exactly what they needed to do. They came in with confidence. They needed to control the line of scrimmage, mix and run with early down play action, not put him in a position to be in those 3rd and 8s and 3rd and 9s against the Ohio State defense on the road. Throw on their terms, not Ohio State's.
Now the first red zone trip where the Irish offense was killed by a sack. They fare better this time. 2nd and 5. It's Diggs in the game, tailback. And keeper, Buckner ran right in to the linebacker there. Stopped at the 4-yard line.
Watch Simon this time. Remember how he got fooled a little bit when they hit that seam route? This time, he doesn't go with that jet motion. He stays with it, eyes in the backfield, knowing the threat of the quarterback potentially pulling it and coming out the other end. He's in position, makes a heck of a play there.
They can get a 1st down inside the 3. Well, at 3rd and 2. A little screen, catch made, stopped short of the goal line is Mayer, but it'll be 1st and goal.
Well, it is tough to stop the big man on a tunnel screen. You give him momentum and a chance to come downhill. Burke the corner, you see a big hit there by the linebacker Eichenberg, who tried to dislodge the ball. But on 3rd and short there, I don't know if he makes that catch, it's just hard to prevent him from getting to where he's trying to go for the 1st down.
4th catch already for Mayer. That is job 1 when you face this Notre Dame offense. Account for number 87. 3 tight ends down in the game for Freeman's offense. 1st and goal.
Ohio State, Ryan Day, they're running down this time to get the timeout.
3 tight ends, old school I formation for the Irish there.
He's in the end zone right there.
So a fired up Freeman and the Irish. They marched it 86 yards on the doorstep. You come back. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Irish so far looking ready for this very tough road assignment. Long march, couple of big completions, a 31-yarder to Salerno in the juggling catch. Then he hits Bauman for 22.
It's the 10th play of this drive.
Yeah. One piece of business, though, punching in I formation again. Handed off to the up man. That's the fullback, Estime, who dives for the end zone. Some efficient passing and a power running game to cap off an 87-yard drive, and the Irish reclaim the lead.
Josh Lugg and Blake Fisher on that right side get a good push, and I love how they moved the tailback Estime up close at fullback. Brought Tyree in to play that tailback spot, give him the ball quick, give him a chance to elevate and get over top of that Ohio State defense. Significant 10-play, 87-yard drive to put the Irish ahead.
There was concern in Ohio State faithful about this defense. Would they see instant improvement with the hiring of Jim Knowles? But the Irish and Tommy Rees have had some good calls tonight. Caught him off balance.
Well, he's done a heck of a job here with a young quarterback. Talking to Tommy this week and talking to Marcus Freeman, it was more about, hey, let's weather the emotional storm early in this game. And then once our feet get under us, let's do it. Let's be who we are. You can see he knows how big of a drive that was. You know why it's big? Confidence, belief. We're at week 1. You're on the road in a tough environment with a young quarterback. There are a lot of unknowns. You've been in scrimmages. You think that this is the right guy. You think this offensive line can do it. You think these receivers can do it. And all of a sudden you get on the lights, the big stage, national TV, and now you just learned on an 87-yard drive, they just gained a lot of confidence in this game.
And let's remember that 31-yard juggling catch by Salerno. I think he bobbled it about 3 times, came down with a catch. That was the biggest play so far tonight.
I can't tell you how many times Tommy Rees tried to warn us about, every time we talk about the receivers, he kept saying, don't forget about 29. I'm telling you guys, a guy can make plays.
Next walk-on, graduate student now. Let's go to Holly, who's got an important report for the Buckeyes.
Well, guys, early in this first quarter, Jackson Smith-Njigba got tackled on the sideline, and as he was going down, his left leg really got rolled up. He has been out ever since. Over here trying to get right. They've had him on the bike. They've had him running some quick sprints, and he still does not look comfortable. He's kind of talking about the back of his left knee and his left hamstring. They keep having long conversations with the athletic training staff, but right now this does not look promising for him to feel comfortable enough to return to this game. I'll keep you updated, but you can see how awkward that is when he comes down with both of those legs.
Yeah, Holly, you can really see that left leg really stretched there on that play.
Been targeted twice, made 1 catch for just 4 yards. So we'll keep an eye on that bicycle on the sidelines. And there's a movement penalty on Ohio State.
All of a sudden, you lose your #1 target.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Your defense gives up a long drive. You're down now. And, this is what it's all about, facing adversity. But you lose Jackson Smith-Njigba, at least for now. We'll see how long he might be out. And all of a sudden, Jaden Ballard steps in, number 9, who they feel very good about his potential. But I don't know if they expected him to be out there playing in the first half.
So it's 1st and 15. 2-by-2 look for Ohio State. Henderson in the backfield. Stover comes in motion. They run it back to the right. Henderson bounces it. And it's a solid gain back to the 29-yard line.
Go behind the big man, DeJuan Jones at right tackle. Does a good job of turning his body and trying to seal off any kind of penetration from the Notre Dame defense. They go back to the tempo.
Another carry on the pitch. Anderson scoots to the edge. A couple of running plays. Set up a 3rd and 3. Gian Fleming, another receiver for Ohio State. Holly reporting also not in the game at the moment, Kurt. So some new faces replacing the fresh faces.
Yeah. And these young receivers, we saw them in a Rose Bowl. Marvin Harrison and Mecca Ibuka all of a sudden become go-to guys and become more experienced just based on what they did in that Rose Bowl, based on who else is around them right now.
Buckeyes need 3 on this 3rd down. 1 for 3 so far tonight. A 2-man rush. They drop 9 into coverage, but still Harrison gets open. First down in Notre Dame territory.
Yeah, you don't see that very often with 9 in coverage, but watch the Notre Dame corner, how he sits. Gives him a nice window with Harrison. He doesn't get hands on Harrison. He's able to easily get behind him and then throw the football right over top of Morrison, who's a true freshman.
Playing fast, a low throw gathered by Cade Stover. He said Al Golden would bring some wrinkles at the ultra-rare 2-man rush.
What the catch there by Stover, little one-hander. Not a lot of yards, but a heck of an effort, yeah.
Stover, a guy, by the way, he was running around playing linebacker in the Rose Bowl. He's been in kind of a tight end linebacker combo throughout his career.
Tough guy. Kevin Wilson, the tight end coach, thinks he could have a good year, but right now he needs to provide some leadership.
Tight end Giants asked to do a lot of edge blocking and be playmakers here at Ohio State. Stroud plenty of time, steps up and delivers over the middle, incomplete, tried to find Harrison. There was tight coverage there. Benjamin Morrison, a true freshman in the game.
Yeah, he was in on that earlier throw by Harrison. You know, this is where you start to see the timing and the work you put into the offseason with some of the younger receivers. You know, right now you're in go-to time, and you don't have your guys that you're normally equipped to throwing the ball to. You remember Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave are off to the NFL. Jackson Smith and Jigba, of course, is out for now. So you've got an entire new crew that C.J. Stroud right now in week 1 is trying to get in sync with.
Need 9 on this third down. The Irish this time do bring some pressure. Stroud gets it out, complete to Fleming, but he's tackled short of the marker. It'll be 4th and 3 at the 40. Tariq Gracie made the play. It's a decision for Ryan Day. Offense staying out there.
Yeah, they're kind of in that tweener zone at the 40. They're going to have to go for this. Continue to be aggressive. Oh, they're actually, this could be a surprise.
Some hesitation.
Yeah, they're going to punt.
Coming off.
They are going to punt. Playing field position. Maybe Ryan Day feeling here in the second quarter has that kind of feel of the game. They want to try to pin the Notre Dame offense back.
They've been unsuccessful on 3rd and short tonight. They have not owned the line of scrimmage. So calling on Mirko to pin the Irish back deep. Notre Dame hasn't had field position to work with tonight. Still up by 3, and now they'll take the 5-yard delay penalty to give Mirko a little more room to punt.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Correction. The penalty is declined. Remains 4th down.
You have the option, of course, to decline and make Mirko punt from the 40.
Quiet stadium.
Just the way Notre Dame looks at the moment.
Yep.
Drops the point, sit high with back spin, and that's the second time Mirko's been able to do that. Strong start for the Ohio State punting team. Notre Dame backed up once again midway.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One on ABC, is brought to you by Xfinity. Unbeatable internet, made to do anything, so you can do anything.
Great performance in Eddie George's Heisman Trophy winning season, part of a big Ohio State victory over the Irish in 1995. ESPN's coverage of the U.S. Open continues tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. It's day 7. Serena sadly is out, but plenty of top storyline still in play. Coco Gauff in action in the afternoon. Nick Kyrgios and Daniil Medvedev, the defending champion at night. Kirk,
I'll be all over that.
Good. I will be too.
Yeah, you'll be right there. I'll be listening to you.
Irish for the second time tonight start a drive at their 5. It's the 3rd time they started inside their 15.
Remember, coming off that long drive, last time they had the ball, 87 yards and a touchdown.
Butler still has not thrown an incompletion tonight. 8 for 8. Diggs on the delay, lowers the head and picks up about 4.
Well, in a low-scoring game, as we have right now, the line of scrimmage becomes everything. Jim Knowles recognizing that within 10, he's trying to attack the line of scrimmage. Notre Dame, again, to their credit, not allowing that penetration. Great communication up front. Forget that Harry Hiestand is back as an offensive line coach, coming back to Notre Dame. He's in the NFL for the last few years and builds great continuity and great toughness for the big boys up front.
5 offensive linemen in the first 2 rounds. About a 6-year period. Keeper, Buckner shows some quickness and dives across the 20 for a first down. Great to have that weapon. They didn't have that last year with Cohn at quarterback.
No, it's great because the action goes this way, and then he's going to come back the other way behind those 2 big tight ends. So Ohio State challenged their eyes, make them have to communicate, and then you can see how sudden he is as a runner. I mean, he puts his foot in the ground. That's his background. He loves to run the football, and it's not like, well, I'm a willing runner. No. It's just in his DNA. That's part of his game and what he can bring to the table.
Enthusiastic runner, this quarterback.
Yeah.
Hiestand is a salty offensive line coach, no-nonsense guy. second stint at Notre Dame, and Freeman says he's the best thing going for this offensive line is that he stands back coaching them.
Yeah, like I said earlier, he just brings an attitude along with him, very demanding. Those offensive linemen love him. You know, offensive line coaches all around the country, I don't care what year you're talking about, when a great one comes around, you hear the same kind of things talked about, how tough they are, how demanding they are, and at the same time, how much the offensive linemen loved him. They're like a father figure.
Those veterans come back around from their NFL teams and hang out at South Bend in the summer, mentoring the younger offensive linemen. 2nd and 3. Diggs runs right into heavy traffic and gets nothing there. Ronnie Hickman, the safety, came up to join the front. It'll be 3rd down.
Notre Dame wanted to try to possess the ball. They want to be very methodical, very slow. No problem. Eat the clock. Win time of possession. Almost double right now the time of possession over Ohio State. This thing right now for Marcus Freeman, and it's very early, but right now, if he closed his eyes and envisioned how he would hope the first half could go, this is kind of what he was picturing. Stay on schedule, 3rd and short, eat clock, move the ball.
And they get the 3 and continue the keep-away game right here. Play clock at 3. Buckner. And that'll be the first incompletion of the night. Mayer couldn't work back. Michael Hall Jr. hurried to play with his pressure. And here comes the punt team.
Really nice job here. See that mug linebacker? They move Hall out to the outside. And a little miscommunication on the left side of that offensive line. He was able to get by. Didn't get the sack, but he hurried Buckner that time on a throw.
Smith-Njigba's absence not just hurting the offense, but he is replaced as punt returner by Ibuka, who's still a talented guy. Going to review this play to see if perhaps there was targeting.
The previous play is under further review for potential targeting.
It was the booth buzzing down. Of course, nothing was called on the field. This ACC crew will make the decision here in the stadium. There's no command center in play here. Bill Lamagna joining us. Bill, what's your take on this?
The defender did lower his helmet, but I don't see this as forcible contact. I'm really hoping they don't go with a targeting call on this. This is not the intent of the rule.
Yeah, that did not look like he had lowered it and charged forward.
He wasn't taking aim with the crown of the helmet on that. I can see him taking a look at it.
Yeah, and I think for the fans at home, they keep being trained by all of us, and especially you, about when you see the helmet go down, is that right away they think, and that's probably why they buzz down, right? But the difference is the intent.
Exactly. He did not aim at him for that. He was almost falling into the tackle.
That's a good description. He was kind of work his way around some bodies there, lost his balance, fell forward. This becomes, an enormous impact review as you take a look at the wording of the rule here. It's been a tweak to the targeting rule this season. It doesn't involve what you're seeing on the screen.
It says any forcible hit by the crown of the helmet. You would not define that as a forcible hit.
I don't have it as forcible.
Okay.
No.
If they do rule it as targeting, of course, it's a first down. Notre Dame keeps the football, and Michael Hall Jr. is a key component of that defensive front, will be ruled out. Another look. He just trips over a leg and kind of falls forward here.
Yeah, that's a good point. Right leg definitely got caught.
This isn't a polarizing rule. Obviously, player safety should be one of the most important things, but this is the kind of thing that's it's taking a while for this review that drives fans crazy.
Yes. Bill, yeah. I'd be shocked.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting.
It took a while, but we think the correct decision made, and Notre Dame will punt. So he was looking for Mayer, but finally Buckner throws an incompletion in his first career start. They were able to gain a little field position before sending John Sott out there. Ibuka standing at his 41. And this punt is his best. It drives Ibuka all the way back and makes an over-the-shoulder catch at the 20. He eludes the initial wave of the coverage team, but excellent execution. They tackle him back at the 24. Bo Bauer making the stop. What do you think? The Bear, is he going to softball us at opening night here, or is it a tough athletic trivia question?
I think he'll go easy week one.
Okay.
Well, it's pertinent, which it works out really well for what I came up with for tonight's athletic trivia question earlier in the week. I'd like to know, who was the last preseason team ranked number 1 or number 2 to lose its season opener? Could be timely.
Oh, is it a connection to these two teams? Is that too much of a hint to ask for?
Too much of a hint.
He's fake it. Now Williams does take it up the left side. Just shoves the tackler down to the ground and is knocked down after an 8-yard gain by Jack Kaiser.
That's the best run of the night there by Ohio State. If you're just joining us, Ohio State's best receiver, maybe the best receiver in the country, Jackson Smith-Njigba, has been out, kind of holding that left leg, riding the bike, does have his helmet on, trying to convince him he's back
in the game.
Finally back out there, so keep a very close eye on him. This offense has been out of sync with him on the sideline.
Receivers bunched to the right. And early traffic. Mayfield got in there and knocked Williams down. It'll be third down. Well, they're just enough to move the sticks. They're going to move it to the 34-yard line.
Ohio State has talked a lot in the offseason about emphasizing the line of scrimmage and running the football, not being one-dimensional, not just relying on C.J. Stroud and his group of wide receivers, trying to be able to push people around, because that can set things up, obviously, in what they want to do in their vertical passing game.
Play action. Stroud checks it down. There's Smith-Njigba not able to escape. Tackle made in the open field there by Bracey. Short game.
Bracey tracked Jackson Smith-Njigba the entire way across the field. Lined up right across from him right here. He keeps a very close eye on him. Sees him going. Follows him. Tracks him. Ball is thrown late out into the flat. Does a nice job of being right where he needs to be.
See if there's any sign of that left leg injury being a factor. Smith-Njigba, one of the most elusive guys in the country. Quick release. Stover's got it. Wrestled down at the 40 after a short game by J.D. Bertrand, the leader of that defense.
You know, last year, remember when the Kansas City Chiefs played, and a lot of people talked about Mahomes needing to be more patient. People were sitting back with two high safeties and forcing him to throw underneath. Notre Dame doing a lot of that in this first half against Stroud. Trying to keep both of these safeties back deep, not letting anything get downfield, and forcing Ohio State to have to run the ball and throw short and intermediate passes. Be patient.
Pre-snap chess game here. Buckeyes took a look at the defense, made the adjustment. Stroud looks underneath, and it's Ibuka who knifes for a first down into Notre Dame territory. Accurate dart by Stroud.
Brought that middle linebacker. It's picked up nicely by Mayan Williams and gets that ball out in a hurry. And again, Ohio State, I think the reason you're seeing more tempo, they want to try to get this Notre Dame defense on its heels.
Ibuka's been the main target tonight. 5 catches. This is Stover. Second catch of the drive, just bounces off the tackler there. Falls forward.
Xavier Watts with a pretty big hit, but unable to wrap him. Boy, he's limping off again. Smith-Njigba trying to give it a go, but clearly limping.
Yeah, he made that catch, didn't have much explosiveness, and then it looked like he was sort of out there as a decoy, but now they'll pull him off the field.
He caught that one ball, but unable to do anything after. Mayan Williams also off on the sideline. Physical game.
Bring back to Speedy Henderson at tailback on 2nd and 3. He's got it. Bounces it to the left. Creates some space, and that's his best run of the night. The feature back for Ohio State makes an impact. First down to the 25.
And that's using his vision. His play's designed to go right. Gets bottled up. Doesn't give up on the play. Now he's dangerous. You know, 32 with space is very dangerous. Nice job of bouncing, using his eyes, using that vision. And that's the difference, in my opinion, with Henderson this year. The patience in being able to make those cuts and get holes designed to the right. He still finds it back to the left.
They want him to be patient, but he is one of the ultimate home run hitters in the sport. 19 rushing touchdowns for Ohio State. Broke the freshman record held by Maurice Clarett last year. Stroud on the move. pressure, delivers to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Crowd wanted a flag. Clarence Lewis was defending on Ibuka, trying to come back to the football.
And we've been talking about that too-high safety look. This time they go with one safety in the middle, leaving their corner isolated one-on-one. Ohio State goes right at him. One-on-one matchup, and out and up move. He got separation. The ball just thrown a bit late. You can see he has to come back to the ball. Because C.J. Stroud, as he tried to work to get to the outside and get outside the contain, it took him another step or two to have to do that, and that caused the ball to be thrown late.
Good work by Lewis. He was really picked on in the Fiesta Bowl loss to Oklahoma State. Tay Martin and company worked over this Irish secondary. They held up pretty well tonight. There's a run, a patient drive called here by Ryan Day. It's been pass heavy until this possession.
Trying again. Talked about they're going to force you to be patient, force you to run the ball. It's what Ohio State's built their entire offseason on, is having that versatility. They knew coming in, not just tonight, but this year, it'd be crazy not to sit back and make Ohio State have to run and throw underneath, be more patient than giving up those big plays.
Whistle before this 3rd and 6 play.
In charge timeout. Ohio State.
He spends one of his 2 timeouts. 45 seconds before the break. Buckeyes threatening to tie or take the lead here.
We'll see at the half, Chris and Kurt.
Big play here. What's a low-scoring game so far? 3rd and 6. Henderson motions back in. Stroud has time. Plenty of it. Delivers over the middle, but it's an inaccurate throw. Ibuka was running free. He had beaten his man throw behind.
Well, again, that's the inexperience and the timing of Ibuka. You'd love to see the receiver come underneath and just settle. Instead of settling, he continues. This is zone. So he needs to sit right here. That's what you see C.J. Stroud is anticipating. That's why the ball's behind him. That'll come with time between 7 and 2. But as a young receiver, you got to recognize zone and man and settle down in that soft spot.
So Noah Ruggles, who won the Rose Bowl with a chip shot, missed only 1 of his 21 field goal attempts last year, is still... No, he missed it. It came right near the top of the upright. It's no good. And after a 10-play drive, the Buckeyes come up empty, and Notre Dame will take the lead to the locker room. Just shocked to see Ruggles miss an easy field goal.
Yeah, and if you go back to that 3rd down, watch the receivers as the ball snapped. They're still kind of talking to each other. Ball snapped. They're late off the ball, so that affects the timing also between C.J. Stroud and Ibuka. So just from word go on that critical 3rd down, you could see what happened there, man. And also he wants them to settle down in the zone, but just a miscommunication on that big 3rd down play.
Irish figured he's take a knee here, but how about this Notre Dame defense? You know, Freeman and Golden both said, we can't match Ohio State for personnel, for talent on offense, but we have 5 graduate students, guys with Notre Dame degrees. They played for 3 different defensive coordinators. They're very smart and experienced, so we can be complex on defense and limit our mistakes. And what a first half, holding an offense that many think might score 50 per game this season to 7 in the first half.
Al Golden told us, we had our time with him, he's a defensive coordinator, he said, you know, these last few years I've been in the NFL, and he said, you know, this is a smart defense. This is a very, very smart defense that has an ability to surprise me. How much they can absorb, how much they can pick up. So, yes, on one hand, I've adopted the verbiage of Marcus Freeman's defense, but I brought in some stuff, and I've been blown away because we don't have the time that we have in the NFL. I've been blown away with the intelligence as a group of how quickly they've picked up what I'm trying to coach them with.
Part of a Bengals staff obviously went to the Super Bowl. Sure. Zach Taylor's hanging around today.
Yeah, he stopped.
But think about that. Right. You come from the NFL. Do I have to dumb it down?
Yeah, right.
No, opposite.
Well, right, but more often than not, because of the lack of time with him, you do. But here with Notre Dame, and by the way, this first half, I know they have the lead here, but what they have been is about as fundamentally sound as you could hope for if you're a Notre Dame fan on that side of the ball.
Look at this, a downfield shot, a miscommunication.
It's interesting. Only 23 seconds left, but they do take a shot. It's a miscommunication. Stops the clock. Ohio State still has that one timeout left. Notre Dame runs the ball. Ohio State will use that last timeout.
Lindsey was the receiver.
A little bit surprised by that.
Went out Denzel Burke was very hard to beat.
But just with the lead, this first half could not have gone any better for Notre Dame on the road up 10-7. But they've made it very clear. We're not going to be conservative. We're not going to be passive coming into this.
No, but you do question the decision. You're going to have to punt the ball. You can't get 9 here.
Yeah.
Handed off underneath, and Tyree is knocked down, and they will spend that last timeout with 18 seconds and make Notre Dame punt the football. Lathan Ransom on the stop. May not be a factor, but the slight rolling of the dice.
Well, he just said, I saw reading his lips, I saw the word stupid come out of his mouth. So I think he's frustrated about that. You know, he would be very happy to head to the showers up 10-7 without having to make this punt.
Last year, Kirk, Ohio State in the first half of games, averaged 27. They're used to jumping out quickly, scoring, getting you to go 3 and out, scoring again right away. That avalanche of points is frankly what folks expected of this offense this season. But Smith and Jigba dealing with a leg injury. He's been ineffective. Notre Dame's defense has made him play slow ball.
And without Olave and Garrett Wilson, their 2 go-to guys last year, you saw what happened in the Rose Bowl. They were able to play so well without them. So I think people just assumed that trend would continue in a game like this.
Saad felt some pressure. They came after him up the middle. It's a good punt. Abuka has to retreat and make the fair catch way back inside the 25 with 11 seconds to play. Just time to check in with Chris Felica, the bearer, for our Affleck trivia question answer. Do we take a guess? I'll say it's Miami or Florida State.
Well, you're correct with one of them. We asked you for tonight's Affleck trivia question, which was the last preseason #1 or #2 team to lose its season opener. The answer is Miami in 1990.
BYU?
Canes lost to BYU. Ty Detmer's Heisman campaign.
That counts as a correct answer, Bear. I said Miami or Florida State.
Also, my first game as a freshman down there was a good way to kick off my career down there.
Good start.
It was a good start. Didn't seem losing a whole lot often after that.
Wow, what a first half for this Notre Dame defense, and for Tyler Buchner making his first career start, 8 of 10. Buckeyes, fewest points in any half at home in the 4-year career of Ryan Day as head coach or offensive coordinator. C.J. Stroud not able to count on his top target much. Smith and Jigba keep a close eye on that injury throughout the night. Could be a story beyond tonight. Let's go to Holly.
Well, Coach, very first offensive drive of the game. Tyler Buchner gets a nice throw, beats the corner. How did that set you up for some momentum early?
Oh, those are confidence builders. You know, this is his first game as a starter, and we need plays like that to build our confidence. We got to be able to run the ball to build our confidence and get some stops on defense, which we're doing a good job.
Ohio State's offense puts points on the board, but not so far. What is your defense doing that's standing out to you?
Well, I think they're continue to challenge them, right? And they'll get a play here or there, but we tell them just one play, one life. Continue to move forward. They're doing a really good job of mixing up some coverages and tackling well. We got to get better, but I'm really pleased with what I saw.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Holly.
Now, could you not be pleased? Ohio State will get the football to begin the second half, but just 149 yards for Ryan Day's attack so far. 10-7 for the underdogs at the break. The Dish halftime report coming up right after these messages.
But they've won the line of scrimmage, getting off blocks, doing everything they could hope for there in the first half.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, the top-rated receiver in college football, limited, nursing a leg injury. We'll see if he can make an impact in the second half. Just one catch in the first. Here's our Modelo fighting spirit moment. This veteran, savvy Notre Dame defense.
They're doing everything we just talked about. You see, typically C.J. Stroud, one-hitch ball is out, but by mixing up their looks, creating a little bit of doubt, creating a little hesitation, but he gets it out fast. How about how they're running to the ball, getting off blocks? They're physical at the line of scrimmage when Ohio State's trying to run the ball. Look at this. Look at the linebackers. It looks like a hungry, well-coached defense in the first 30 minutes of this game.
At front, those experienced linebackers doing a great job. We'll see if Stroud can flip a switch in the second half. Smith-Njigba's in the game to begin the second half. And Holly, let's check with you.
Ryan Day said that with Jackson Smith-Njigba out of the game in that first half for long stretches, they just kind of got out of whack offensively. He said, I look for us to get a rhythm here on this drive, go down and score, and start to move the ball again. We just got off schedule. We've got to stay on schedule. I asked him about Jackson Smith-Njigba. He said, I'm not sure how much he can do, but I see Jackson running out there now. He is limping a little bit, but they're hoping they can get something from him this half.
They targeted Harrison in the first play. He had just one catch in the first half. The guy who caught 3 touchdowns in the Rose Bowl. If Luke is featured there, it's going to be a quick third down.
Yeah, one of the answers that Ryan Day is coming up with is instead of sitting back there and letting C.J. Stroud typically pick apart a secondary, because of those different looks, because he's been hesitant, he's just getting the ball out a little bit quicker, trying to attack the edge, almost an extension of their running game. But good job again by the defense.
Need 6 here. Irish rush 4. Stroud has protection. Pump fake, and now fires a low, inaccurate throw. And it's a 3 and out to begin the second half. Again, looking for Harrison. Did not beat Clarence Lewis.
Harrison beats Lewis off the line of scrimmage and actually gets inside leverage all the way to the top right. Watch him get to the inside. He's got it beat right now, but you can see he wanted to work across the middle to Jackson Smith-Njigba. By the time he came back to Marvin Harrison, a little bit again too late, and Notre Dame again getting C.J. Stroud out of sync, making him come off his primary, taking that away and making him find that second or third option.
If you go out of sync, out of rhythm, out of whack, they're definitely not clicking at this point. Joseph to make the fair catch at the 28-yard line. And meanwhile, as a flag came out way after the return.
Buckner has had a great first half. We'll see what they do with him in a second. That was first play of the game. See, under 2 seconds, the ball's out. He took a late hit. That was a big play for Notre Dame's offense. Here, nice job of moving the defense and then finding a seam route to the big tight end, Bowman. And then just the mobility, reminding Ohio State, hey, don't forget, 12 can run this football, and you have to have your eyes on him at all times.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team, number 9, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So, penalty there. It's Zach Harrison, the star defensive end, playing a role on special teams, and that penalty moves the ball to the 44, giving Buckner some good field position here.
And again, a low-scoring game. Field position is everything. Notre Dame in the first half started 6 possessions inside their own 14. So it's a different start in the second half.
By far the best. Buckner straight back, hit as he throws, delivers downfield. And it was over the head of Styles. He was hit hard by Chambers on the blitz.
Ohio State very fortunate they were able to get some pressure on him because Buckner had his man. See this pressure. He waits. He gets hit by Chambers right as he delivers that. Came close. He had a man beat downfield. Got behind Tanner McAllister.
Styles today. To play with the pressure. An aggressive start for Tommy Rees, play calling with the lead here. And to create another big play to open a half. Play action, Buckner backpedals, ball was tipped at the line and falls incomplete.
Interesting decision, very different approach. Remember they talked about the confidence that Buckner's gaining. But a couple shots downfield on these first 2 downs with good field position. Instead of just running the ball, dinking and dunking, they get aggressive, and it backfires there. Now they're on a 3rd and 10.
Jack Sawyer deflected that pass. Buckner, after starting 8 for 8, has missed on 4 in a row. Pressure again. Flushed. Scans the field and just tucks it. Makes a man miss, slides down, and a flag comes in as he's hit. And was Lathan Ransom. He was giving himself up there, but got hit. And that will be a critical penalty in Ohio State.
Ransom, take a look at this, see if he was trying to pull up. There's obviously contact.
The play, personal foul. Unnecessary roughness defense, number 12. 15-yard penalty. First down.
They cannot believe it, Kirk. I think we've seen an increased emphasis on protecting quarterbacks in college the way it's done in the NFL.
Yeah, they do a good job of taking away all of his options. Blitz up the middle, forces him out. It's actually picked up. Look at the coverage. Nobody open downfield. He's just going to eat it, try to get as many yards as he can. And he looks like as he's going down, Bill, I'd love to hear your take on this.
You go into that feet first slide, if you haven't committed, which he hadn't, it's going to be a foul for a late hit because the ball is dead the second you break down.
Second unnecessary roughness on the Buckeyes moves the ball to the 35. Estime cannot escape the tackle of Eichenberg. It's a tough play in space by linebacker.
Bill, educate everybody here on committed with Ransom. Does he look like he's committed?
He had the opportunity to avoid that hit.
Did he?
He was not. I don't have him committed to it to the hit.
Okay.
It's right on the edge. Tyree motions back in on 2nd and 11. Plenty of time on the play clock. Buckner pressured immediately, escapes again, and protects the football as they come after it. Zach Harrison got there in a hurry. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, right here again. He has had a heck of a game tonight. Michael Hall, nobody picks him up. Miscommunication with Josh Lugg, the right guard. And just him being able to get inside there blows that entire play up. Buckner had nothing to do but just try to escape. Another big 3rd and long for this Notre Dame offense.
Just 2 for 8. That's been one aspect of the game that has not been efficient so far for Notre Dame. Five-man rush. Buckner delivers in a heavy traffic. It's incomplete on the carom. Tried to force the ball in there to Braden Lindsey, and it's 4th down.
Boy, he's doing it. Jim Knowles is doing a really good job of mixing up his looks. Watch his safety, Ronnie Hickman, kind of hiding there as like a spy, and then looks up the crosser. And Buckner never really felt him. I think he thought he was maybe coming up, not going to be in that position, and just his body being there affected the vision there of his receiver.
John Sott on formation, trying to do what his counterpart Mirko did effectively in the first half. Kind of delayed the punt to let the coverage team get down there. The fair catch made way back at the 6-yard line. So Stroud and the Buckeyes backed up. Buckeyes pinned back. Limiting explosive plays, the huge emphasis for every Ohio State opponent. C.J. Stroud, most of his attempts, Kirk, have been within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Very efficient, but only 1 for 7 beyond 10 yards.
Yeah, and again, credit Notre Dame scheme and what they're doing, trying to keep everything in front of them. Jackson Smith and Jigba has been in and out of the lineup. So Ohio State at this point kind of reeling, trying to find a rhythm.
Pin back to give it to Mayan Williams. And Powers across the 10 for about 6 yards. How?
Well, Jackson Smith and Jigba, the most powerful weapon they have, has spent a long time in the injury tent. He just came out and he's visibly upset. He's got a towel around his shoulders, no helmet. It looks like his day could be done, and he is very upset right now, guys, that he can't be out there after all the work they put in to go into this opening game.
You're going to see more of Jaden Ballard come into this game now. Freshman out of Massillon.
Williams off the right side again, breaks free, and just tiptoes out of bounds. He had nothing but open field ahead of him had he been able to stay in bounds. Houston Griffith missed the tackle there.
He's a physical runner. A great change of pace to Trevion Henderson. Ohio State's answer right now to the passing game not working is he's got to control the line of scrimmage, get physical, and give it to number 3 where he can lower his shoulder. Great blocking to get him on the edge there.
A Notre Dame player down on the field, and that is the veteran Bo Bauer, the graduate, holding his leg. He'll step aside while they check him out. You give up 6 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and win? Is that
I've never heard of possible 40 points in a quarter. And like you said, get the W.
Williams, first down run. You know, Smith and Jigba apparently, as Holly reported, done for the night, just the one catch. It's the kind of injury. He was grabbing his left leg. We don't have a real diagnosis yet, Kirk, but that's the kind of thing. If you don't protect it, you're not prudent, it can really linger.
Yeah, you got to be smart the whole season in front of you.
Gets it out on the edge. Ibuka's going to play an important role with number 11 out tonight.
And Ryan Day starts to look down at that play chart, and he's adjusting on the fly. Week 1, teams on the ropes. Notre Dame, to their credit, they've come up with a good plan to try to keep everything in front. He's running the ball, and he's getting the ball outside in a hurry. Quick throws to his receivers.
Third downs have been a struggle, not even third and short, even automatic, but they do muscle it straight ahead and move to 6 that time.
See if he goes back with a new set of downs, goes back to trying to run the ball. He's really forced to do that with the Notre Dame scheme and how they're trying to not let the ball get behind them in a vertical passing game.
Stroud into a seam. The throw is high and off the hands of Stover.
Tight window back into the boundary, trying to get the ball over top of the corner, Cam Hart, who has pretty good size, almost a 6'3" corner. Number 5, the ball would have to be perfectly thrown to get it into Cade Stover.
Veteran linebacker Bo Bauer, we saw him down to the field. Looks like it may be a cramp. He was riding a cart to the locker room. He posted there. The play action. Stroud has to spin away from pressure and deliver underneath to Ballard, who makes a catch. It'll set up a third down.
It's another good job of C.J. Stroud looking out to the outside of this offense. Watch the feet. Little fake, gets to the right. Everything's taken away. See those safeties, how deep they are downfield? There's just nothing there for C.J. Stroud. The whole point here for Notre Dame is we want him to take that second and third hitch, create hesitation and doubt. It's exactly what they've been able to do consistently tonight.
On 3rd and 6, pressure again. Stroud pulls it, sprints, and delivers. Caught, but short of the first down. Ibuka got it, but he was wrestled out of bounds.
Bracy is right there to make the play. Tariq Bracy. Even on this play, Chris, even though they came close, brought some pressure from the outside. Good job by Mills, Riley Mills, forcing him to step underneath. That tight coverage makes the catch, but comes up short.
You're counting on Ibuka making a guy miss there. Could not escape. And drop of the head from Ryan Day. I think he had expected his offense to come out firing, make some tweaks. Instead, they have to punt. Again, go on the run. And fair catch made at the 11. Ohio State does at least succeed in backing up Notre Dame yet again. College football the next couple nights. All-State Louisiana kickoff game. LSU in their backyard, but they won a championship a few years ago against Florida State. And then on Labor Day night, ACC collision between Clemson, ranked number 4, and Georgia Tech in Atlanta.
And Notre Dame's defense is not going to change their scheme, sitting those safeties back and forcing things underneath until Ohio State can prove that they can either be consistent and drive the ball by running and throwing underneath, or somebody can make a big play after a short throw.
50-yard punt, backing up Buckner again. Got to be very careful down here. And cautious call. Estime lowers the head and falls forward for a few before Ty Hamilton,
which seems
brother of Davon, made the stop.
Seems like this offense has been, almost seems like every possession starting inside their 15-yard line. A lot of these drives forcing them to be smart and calculated with their play calling, at least on the initial start to the drive.
It's been a while since Buckner's had a completion. 0 for his last 5. Reese dial up a pass on 2nd and 9. Well, they hand it off again, so playing it very cautious. Estime knocked down by Eichenberg. It'll set up 3rd and long.
Not only are they bringing the linebackers to occupy those linemen, the safeties also. See the backers? Go watch here in the back end. Also, safeties kind of replace those backers. Once those backers fill, not a lot of room to run the ball. Ohio State just anticipating a conservative approach, obviously, from Notre Dame. They get pretty aggressive against the run.
Tommy Rees, not conservative by nature, you'd agree, right? He's an aggressive guy, but playing complementary football tonight with poor field position and an inexperienced quarterback. Now they'll try to throw for it on 3rd and 6. Buckner backpedals and delivers a throw, and the catch is made by Mayer. He's still running. Ross, the football has to fall on it. Took a very lucky bounce for the big fella, but they moved the sticks and avoid the turnover.
And a great job of recognizing. Of course, you want to get it to Mayer, but Ohio State, instead of having a bigger body, they end up having a corner. Cam Brown is on him, who's very capable in coverage, but I don't know if he can handle the physicality. A little push off at the top of the route, and Mayer is a big man for a corner to try to match up with.
Uncanny instincts. He reads the defender's feet, their body, knows how to get open, box out. Lost the handle there in the open field. Again, very fortunate to have a bounce back to him. There's a keeper on the edge. Buckner took a peek downfield. Eichenberg forced him out.
I just want to go back to how he got open on 3rd down when Ohio State had a pretty good idea. They're going to try to throw him the ball. They put a good corner on him, but you can see the size. And he does a nice job of, for a young quarterback, putting it up in the air where Mayer can go up at 6'5" and make that play over the undersized corner. He's not used to having all that room after he's rumbling, fumbling, stumbling, right?
They're very lucky.
Looking at the top tight end along with Brock Bowers in college football this year.
Behind the sticks on 2nd down here, Estime. He's been the workload tonight. Play clock winding down.
Charge timeout.
And spend a timeout.
Notre Dame, they're first.
So this is a quick moving 3rd quarter. Midway through it, Notre Dame trying to grind out a drive, still protecting that 3-point lead. Buckner's been limping. Here's why. Check his left ankle in the tackle by Eisenberg.
Yeah, he goes to the sidelines. You can see that ankle kind of gets caught underneath of the linebacker Eichenberg. Noticed at the break when he was coming over. Noticeable limp there, and actually Drew Pine was warming up. Now he's back out there, but we'll keep an eye on that.
2nd and 11. Tyree tries to get to the edge. Does, but not much there. Bumped out there by Lathan Ransom. At completion by Buckner, he snapped a modest drought of 5 passes after the 8th grade start. He's been an efficient runner. No big runs yet.
No, and that's kind of his thing and what he'll bring to this offense this year. I love that. A little sweep play. They used that earlier and faked it, and then they found the tight end. Maybe something they go back to a little bit later. Here comes another 3rd down.
They need 8. Tyree to the left of the quarterback. 4-man rush. Delivery on the far side into traffic, incomplete. No chance for Mayer there. Predictable they were going to target him, and Cam Brown was all over
Yeah,
him.
they went right back to him. I mean, actually, the ball's just late. He gave him a cushion. Look, I mean, he's open. Look at, he's got the cushion. He's open there. The ball ends up coming in late, and by the time he throws it, no chance of converting there.
Interesting to see a 265-pound tight end working on a corner, one-on-one on the edge.
That's what Tommy Rees wants, right? He's going to flex him out and try to get a matchup against an undersized player that he can try to go up and over. Worked once. That time it doesn't.
Quite a punting tool tonight. This is the 6th for John Sott. Again, the grad transfer from Harvard. And with Smith and Jigba apparently out of the game, Ibuka has the full-time punt return duties. This is a low kick, but a line drive fair caught at the 30-yard line. The rain is held off. Good news for aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Road tested and game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. It's back. The Taco Bell Live Más Student Section of the Year contest. Taco Bell providing rewards to students all season long. Now 1 loss to Oregon. in that streak. You know, you take the non-conference games against top 15 teams here. Ohio State's actually lost 4 of the last 5. Including that loss to Oregon. It's surprising.
Yeah, it really is.
Taking care of business for the most part at home in the conference, but the quality non-conference teams have come in here and had success. Play action. Stroud escapes the rush of Foskey and delivers downfield. And it is a completion. Abuka came back and made the catch right in front of the bench of the Irish. It's a first down to the 46.
They bring their backers. They bring the pressure right here, but it's Foskey who almost is able to get that pressure against DeJuan Jones. This is C.J. Stroud showing the athletic ability, and instead of giving up on it, last possible second, he ends up making that throw.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Jones. Big fella's dropped a whole bunch of weight. Still clocks about 350.
Yeah, and look how Stroud waits to that last possible second. Nice job there by Abuka working back to the football and then getting a foot down to get that first down. But then they negate that in the very next play with a 5-yard penalty.
Abuka came in with monster expectations. Had a tremendous high school career in Washington State, and he has stepped up big tonight. 9 catches for 90 yards and has the only Ohio State touchdown. And Stroud play action, and it's a long throw, and the catch made at the 48 by Marvin Harrison Jr. Is that a quiet night, just his second catch.
But the question right now for Ohio State in an offense that's struggling is which receiver for Brian Hartline is going to start to potentially make plays, win some one-on-one matchups, and maybe get yards after the catch. Because somebody's going to need to do it if Ohio State wins.
Henderson takes the toss, gets the first down. Buckeyes beginning to use some tempo here. This is what Day had wanted to do against that Irish defense.
Anything to do you can to try to slow down a defense. And again, you become the aggressor when you can go and mix in some tempo. He likes to just change his tempos up. Go a little slow, pretend you're going to go fast, look over. Do anything he can to disrupt their own timing. Notre Dame's done such a good job of messing with Ohio State. He's trying to turn the tables a bit.
Henderson still looking for that opportunity for the home run. He's been held well in check tonight by this Irish defense.
Ryan Day sees something with that motion. He's got a single safety in the middle of the field. He stopped it. Got to call in to Ryan Day, or to C.J. Stroud.
Well, it's a handoff to Henderson. Barrels to the left. That's a solid gain down inside the 35. The freshman Morrison stopped him, but the Buckeyes beginning to get things going here.
Nice job at the left tackle, Paris Johnson. See the receiver there. Marvin Harrison also does a nice job of making a good block.
Right back to Henderson. He makes a cut and runs square into the defense here. Howard Cross. Helped out by Leofau.
That's what you have to do. When a defense forces you to be patient, you have to have the ability to run the ball, have to have the ability to throw underneath. Then you get in the red zone, you got to be able to score touchdowns and not kick field goals.
And missed a field goal. Ultra reliable Noah Ruggles, a narrow miss in his only attempt so far tonight. Stroud wafting downfield on the sideline, incomplete. Harrison's a big guy, but that was over his head. He tried to pick on the freshman Morrison.
I mean, you're leaving a true freshman on an island against Marvin Harrison. Look at Benjamin Morris, one-on-one. The ball never gives Harrison, who has a superior catch radius with his long arms, never really had a chance there.
They said that Morrison would see some action. There's a couple of young DBs in this Notre Dame team that have impressed. Jaden Mickey, Ben Harrison, nice baptism to college football.
Showing confidence without safety help.
CJ delivers underneath. It's Stover who makes the catch, holds the football as they try to rip it out of his hand. Excuse me, Ballard.
They had him lined up next to Stover. We just said, which are the receivers from Hartline are you going to see emerge and make some plays? It's been a mixed bag. This time it's Jaden Ballard, the redshirt freshman. More of a vertical threat, but Hartline says he's worked very hard to become more of a complete receiver.
8th play of this march here. Again, looking to Henderson, and they'll take a gain of about 4 on first down. So body blows being delivered now by Ohio State.
And this is what's going to decide the outcome of this game. And you get into this area for really both teams in a 10-7 game. Are you able, when everything gets tighter in the red zone, can you punch it in? Whether it's running the ball or throwing the tight windows, can you get a touchdown in the red zone?
You pick up the pressure, but now Stroud has to spin away. A couple of flags down. He delivers incomplete. This is right in the holding zone, though.
Get Ohio State for a holding. Like 74, Donovan Jackson maybe called here.
2 flags came out simultaneously. You get down in the red zone. It's the first official red zone trip for Ohio State. The worst thing you can get is other than the turnover is a holding penalty.
You can either holding, could be a chop block too, with Trevion Henderson trying to pick up a blitz up the middle.
Henderson walking off.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the offense. Holding, offense, that penalty's declined. Personal foul, shot block, offense. That penalty be assessed, 15-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, that's worse than a holding penalty, 15 yards.
It's 74 was the hold. He's the left guard right there. But watch Trevion Henderson get involved. Anytime you engage and then go underneath, they're going to get you for a chop block. They had great field position down inside the 20. Now they find themselves back out at the 34-yard line.
Henderson seems to be okay. Left the game, has his helmet off.
It looked a little dazed there after he picked up that blitz.
So Williams in the game, 2nd and 21. Stroud has time. They're going to give him that cushion, but Xavier Johnson, graduate from Cincinnati. This guy plays a little running back, a little cornerback, a little receiver in his career.
And an impressive career as far as you're kind of labeled a journeyman. You moved around like you said, and you just don't give up. You don't go away. By the time you're 4th or 5th year, coaches want to utilize you. They can trust you. Tariq Bracy is down.
That's why the clock is stopped. 37 seconds in the 3rd quarter. This is such a crucial part of this game. Think about the red zone trips, deciding at those crucial 3rd down plays. We don't see many games at the elite level like college football, Kirk, that are like this. You know, low scoring, premium on every possession, and especially what we're going to see here in the next couple plays.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame's plan, not just on this drive but all night, is keep everything in front, be okay with a 4-yard gain or a 6-yard gain, and then see what will happen if Ohio State's fortunate enough to be consistent, get into the red zone, see if they can make it play. I keep referring back to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and what they faced last year. I think Ohio State's going to see a lot of this year. Starting tonight, nobody wants to play him a man-to-man. Everybody's going to say, we'll put 2 safeties back, make you be patient, make you run the ball, and throw intermediate passes.
Now, the chop block penalty messes things up from the rhythm that they had in the play calling. No Smith and Jigba. Who does he count on in this crucial red zone? They need 11 on this 3rd down.
You got to find a matchup. You got to try to be able to find somebody. Marvin Harrison, who he has all the way to the top of your screen.
The book is down to the left, Kirk, far left. He's been the main target tonight. Henderson is back in the game. Big moment here. They bring late pressure. It's picked up. Stroud right down the middle. Touchdown. It is Xavier Johnson. The Swiss Army knife on this football team has a big moment, and the Buckeyes take the lead. Irish defense gambled with the pressure and lost big time on that play. 24-yard strike. Ruggles makes it a 4-point lead. 17 left in the third quarter.
We just talked about and been bragging about how they've been keeping their safeties back. This time you look at the safeties, and Chris, you're all over it. You sensed it. C.J. Stroud thought, oh my gosh, finally the safeties are coming. He gets the one-on-one matchup. You said who can win one-on-one, and look, of all people, it's Xavier Johnson. Who would have had, we said pregame that Xavier Johnson in the second half is going to make a play on one-on-one coverage to give Ohio State the lead. I don't think anybody would have thought that. But Notre Dame, who have been playing with their safeties back, decide to blitz them in the red zone, and Stroud says, thank you very much, delivers the ball the way we're used to seeing him throw it.
2 first-round receivers move on. Smith and Jigba is out. Julian Fleming hasn't been effective. Next man up. First touchdown, or X-man up, I should say. Xavier Johnson with a first career touchdown that gives Ohio State the lead here. Moment he'll never forget. Yeah, he wasn't really prominent in the scouting report.
Oh, look at this scene.
Tyree from the 1. They are solid in kickoff coverage. He's back to the 15-yard line. Check back with Kevin Nagandi.
Chris, what a week one so far still going on the ESPN family of networks right now on ESPN. Florida driving down 4 inside the 5-yard line against Utah. Over on ESPN2, the U.S. Open action continues. SEC Network, Bama dominant. Bryce Young, 6 total touchdowns. And over on ESPNU, weather delay, Mississippi State up 7-0 at the moment. They're back on the field. That's a good thing. Back to you and Kirk.
I love the fact that Johnson made the touchdown catch, then goes down on special teams, makes an tackle.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he's one of the favorites on this team. And that ignited this crowd, seeing that effort from a receiver scoring a touchdown and coming right back and covering the kickoff and keeping them inside the 15.
And the crowd, which had been pretty subdued for a while, comes to life. First points of the second half there. You said loudest spot of the stadium, this closed end. They're going to make it tough on Buckner. You have to smout.
So he scores a touchdown, and then he gets a chance to cover a kickoff. That's what he's known for, as a special teams demon. Comes right off of the block and says, I'm not tired. Let's go. You should have seen the bench when he came off the field after he, look at him. They saw number 10 get down there. They love it. That's what great teams have to do, right? It's not always there. You got to rely on people that are down the depth chart to help you make plays.
Just love a guy that's on this roster of future NFL guys, and he's a dude who's just bided his time, comes from Summit High School, Cincinnati. Off the timeout. Buckner looks to throw, and it's a downfield shot, and the catch made at the 45. Beautiful throw to Braden Lenzy, who makes his first impact play tonight.
Little switch release, and Denzel Burke doesn't ever get any hands on him. Able to get around. Mayer, the tight end, creates a one-on-one matchup down the right sideline. He beats a top-notch corner with that blazing speed. That's what he's known for, a vertical threat in this offense. He lays out and makes a big play for Notre Dame.
Buckeyes take the lead, but the Irish with a 32-yard play. We head to the fourth quarter. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Buckeyes taking the lead by 4. Notre Dame trying to answer here. They moved it to the 45-yard line. Take another look at that 32-yard completion that ended the third. Will be somewhat controversial. On the sweep. Handoff. Tyree. A quick burst. He's got a first down at the 41. Watch 2 things. The ball in the hands, and then watch the field judge on the left side. It was the same view as this camera. Appears to signal incomplete there.
And then after he does that, then he changes. And keep rolling. You'll see Ryan Day come in to his left saying, what in the world? You just waved that off. So yeah, little
ball definitely moved, but did it touch the ground? Lenzy.
They didn't call down to take a look.
Nor did they make an announcement that it was even under review. Play action. Buckner backpedals, lost downfield, caught in traffic, and here comes a flag. Crowd will not like this call either. Cam Jordan was tangled up with Salerno, who made one of the biggest plays of the first half. But it's against Notre Dame. They're going to call offensive pass interference.
Pass interference. Offense, number 29. 15-yard penalty. Yeah. First down.
The reason they call that is Cam Brown is working and looking back at the football, trying to get to his point. And then you can see Salerno grabs a hold of him. In fact, he blocks it to prevent him from getting to the football.
That is an enormously damaging penalty when it's on the offense. Moves it all the way back to the Notre Dame 44.
Right there, grabs a hold of him and pushes him to the ground.
First and 25. Keeper. Buckner, no slide this time, dives into Ohio State territory, trying to get some of the yardage back. Eichenberg stopped him. They've been colliding a few times tonight. So yeah, second and 18.
He really has a different feel just after 3 quarters of football. Came in as a question mark under center. First career start on the road. How would he do? Seems like he's really settled into this game plan and still has his hands full tonight, and even in this series, but definitely starting to kind of feel much better reading the Ohio State defense and trying to get the ball out of his hands.
Buckner's done more running tonight than Jack Cohn did all year.
Yeah.
On the end around, Tyree, they're all over in battles to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 18.
And Jack Sawyer, highly touted right here out of Pickerington, the Columbus area, sets the edge to this defense against Mayer. He works upfield, he keeps his outside shoulder free. There's really nothing Tyree can do. He can't get outside, he's got to cut it underneath, or the rest of those scarlet jerseys are flying around. Nice play by 33.
Comes the noise on 3rd and very long. Buckner takes his way, but they are not going to ignore the quarterback in that situation. Michael Hall Jr., another big play. The offensive PI ruins the drive.
And Tommy Rees deciding to go with a safe route with a quarterback draw, trying to get the Ohio State defense to react to the motion. Hall gets off of his block. The rest of the defense right there, not fooled again by the draw. Eichenberg right there, the leader of that defense.
So the 5th straight Notre Dame possession to end in a punt. Sott again hesitates, no pressure. Kicks it high with back spin, and they are going to be able to down it. Initially touched inside the 5-yard line. It's been a tactical field position, defensive kind of game. Buckeyes back to work, up 4. It's a nice night in Columbus. Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. College game day headed on the road back to Austin, Texas to see what Sark and the Longhorns can do against his former boss, the top-ranked Tide, who look pretty strong today.
Yeah, it should be a great setting there in Austin. Anytime #1 rolls into town, it's always a scene.
So Stroud hands off to Henderson. CJ was 5 of 6 for 71 yards and that touchdown in the last drive to Xavier Johnson. By far his best drive of the night. We're keeping an eye on the TVs as we do. Looks like the Gators come up with an interception. They're going to hold off Utah and win in the swamp. Another one of the intriguing matchups of this opening Saturday night of the season. Henderson takes a shot but falls forward. They move the sticks to the 17. Riley Mills brought him down.
Nice job there by 55, Matthew Jones. Mitch Rossi with a big block and good, tough running. That's what Ohio State, again, wanted to be this year. When they had a lead in the fourth quarter, can they get some tough yards running the ball?
Stroud stretches the field and delivers to Harrison underneath. Short gain, tackled inbounds at the 21. Talk about this interesting chess match all night long. Al Golden and this veteran defense, so football savvy, made that big gambling call, that blitz call that resulted in the touchdown. One call he's made that's really backfired. Henderson knocked down. It'll be 3rd and short.
I thought Marvin Harrison came close to stepping out of bounds. It wasn't that it was a big game, but it was positive yards there on that first and 10 play. Ohio State now it's 3rd and short. Every down, every series critical. Now with 10 minutes, close to 10 minutes to go in this game.
Williams spelling Henderson in the game. In no hurry here. Very patient. And to make sure that Day makes the right call for the look. Play clock down at 4. Stroud well protected for a while. Now it breaks down. He's on the move, trying to make something happen, and flips it down the sidelines. And the catch is made. Mayan Williams, the running back, is Stroud again. Makes a pinpoint throw on the run.
How about the effort? How about the effort by Mayan Williams to come back? He's looking over the middle of the field here to try to make this throw. It's too cloudy. Shows athletic ability to keep that play alive.
Williams now on the carry, playing with some tempo.
And then Mayan Williams was all the way down the field against that bare front man-to-man coverage. He comes all the way back. Wow, that was close on the sideline.
So he throws back against his body in a full sprint and drops a dime in there. On the run, Stroud makes a long, low throw, and the catch is made by Harrison. Went down to the 49. Somehow got that big body down to scoop the ball off the carpet.
And another first down. Ohio State going very fast right now. Gets his hands underneath that football.
There's a pre-snap penalty on Ohio State.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. First down.
With some crucial plays, clutch plays made by Stroud on 3rd down in this quarter. Not going to have an eye-popping statistical night, but he has been sharp without his top receiver tonight.
And Chris, how often last year did we see him throwing in rhythm, pitch, ball out? You know, occasionally you'd see him get outside. He never scrambles to run. He's scrambling to buy time, eyes downfield, make throws. But a few of these tonight, he's been running for his life, showing speed to get away from the pressure, and then still able to throw and make first downs. Chris Olave looking on.
Bring the blitz up the middle. Williams runs through it and fights hard. Try to push the pile. He's within about 4 yards of the marker at the 43.
Those backers blitzing, trying to shoot gaps, getting aggressive as Ohio State keeps moving the football. Mayan Williams, nice job of cutting that back.
Stroud, another long, accurate throw. Harrison comes back, still trying to fight for yardage. Clarence Lewis wouldn't let him get away.
He's throwing on time. It's a long throw to make. The ball's got to be out on time. Ball's out now. Pretty tight coverage. If that ball is thrown with one more hitch, it's an incompletion, possibly intercepted, but he got it out early enough to give Harrison a chance.
And way back on this drive, they've taken 9 plays to move it 61 yards. And the clock ticking midway through this final quarter. Williams. Not much there. Actually, more than I thought. He kind of got the edge before Bracey forced him out. They'll take that gain on first down.
Yeah, and it was a slow developing play, and the only reason he got positive yards is the receivers blocking downfield. 10, who's made a big play tonight, Xavier Johnson. See him right there. Abuka, 2 at the top of your screen. They sustained blocks, at least gave him a chance to get to the corner and pick up some positive yards.
Exactly what Ryan Day would have hoped for on this drive, especially if they can come away with points. But they have chewed clock and moved into scoring position. Williams again has a hole, breaks a tackle, and barrels down inside the 15. Mayan Williams has been grinding away patiently and pounding away at this defense. Ran over Henderson there.
Watch Whippler climb up to the second level. He's not covered up. Gives him a chance to get up to the backer. And then tough, hard running there again by Mayan Williams. What a different kind of back you're trying to tackle from Trevion Henderson to Mayan Williams.
His body slam to safety.
A low center of gravity like a bowling ball compared to the more explosive Trevion Henderson.
The bowling ball is rolling, and this Ohio State team continues to patiently work on this clock. Down in the red zone now. Feed him again. Off the left side. Williams knocked down at the 3. And the body blow is really beginning to take a toll on this Irish defense. 1st and goal.
Watch the right side pulling around. Good patience. And I'll tell you, when he has a chance to build up his momentum and run downhill, he's a handful.
Beat him again. This time they knocked him down the line. What did Ryan Day tell his team? Really all off season, but especially this week. They say you're talented. They don't say you're tough. You're physical. They're making a statement on this drive.
Well, if you go by last year, the Oregon game, and especially the Michigan and Utah game, people around the country are starting to, if you're going to find a chink in the armor, the first thing they talk about is, wow, I don't know how tough they are. They've got quarterbacks and receivers, but can they get tough at the line of scrimmage? They hear that. They've dedicated this offseason to a drive like this in the 4th quarter.
Second and goal. Williams fights to the goal line and crosses it. Ohio State stretches the lead in the final 5 minutes, and Mayan Williams was the man on that possession.
14-play, 95-yard drive, and taking over 7 minutes off the clock in a tight football game. See if he gets across and breaks the plane. Again, enough room there. Ball looks like right there. Breaks the plane. There's the progressive pylon cam.
Oh, yeah. Irish had Ohio State backed up. They could get a stop here. We get great field position, great chance to take the lead. So Ohio State offense pounding away on the ground. At Williams, 7 for 49, and the touchdown. Caught a pass for 12 yards. The lead is 11 now.
Football on ABC is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Now the prize that every team in college football covets, and Ohio State fans fully expect to make a run at it. Presented by Dr. Pepper, that trophy. LA is the scene of the championship game. Semifinals are in Atlanta and Glendale. Mayan Williams has had a hard luck career, man. Remember, he had COVID, could not play in the championship game against Alabama a couple years ago. Then he got a concussion. He missed a few games last year. He's been, kind of in the shadows of Trevion Henderson. He's the workman-like tough guy. Yeah. Tonight, he's been the man of the backfield.
Tony Alford, his running back coach, talking to him after a 7-carry, 49 yards and a touchdown. Also, a reception for 12 yards on 3rd down. Busy on that drive.
And Notre Dame now needs 2 touchdowns in the final 5 minutes. Can't be patient. Can't be cautious anymore. Got to let it rip. 12. Notre Dame got to go to work here, Kirk. They have got to kind of go against the strength of this offense and try to make some plays downfield. It's incomplete to Lindsey.
We've talked so much about the Notre Dame defense keeping him in this game. How about the job that Jim Knowles' defense has done? Notre Dame has punted on 5 straight possessions. And not only that, they've had 3 possessions in the second half, all punts. Knowles' group pitched a shutout so far in the second half.
Buckner tried to get it to Mayer. Tight coverage, broke it up. It'll be third down. Steel Chambers made the play.
And let's face it, with Ohio State kind of stuck in second, third gear offensively, they've needed to get the ball back. They've needed Jim Knowles. It's big defense. Everybody wanted to see, and they've stepped up to this point.
They sure have. Give up a 54-yard play on the first play from scrimmage. He thought, uh-oh, more of the same. They have tightened up since allowing that one touchdown. They back out. Four-man rush, and he gets home. Michael Hall Jr. has been their best defensive player tonight.
Nice to be able to get pressure without having to blitz, and he has had a night. The coaches warned us about him, and he has done it. He fights here, gets caught up, moving to the outside with 33. Jack Sawyer creates a little doubt with that offensive line. You can see Blake Fisher unsure, should he pick up 33 or 51? It frees up Mike Hall. Mike Hall is having a night.
2 tackles last year. But one of those guys that, stepping into a bigger role, his natural ability, he's freaky, strong, tremendous athlete, and he has been dominant tonight. And that sack forces Notre Dame to kick it away in the final 4 minutes. It's a long boot, tremendous boot, way over Ibuka's head, still rolling. So Stroud and company take the field with an 11-point cushion. Different vibe on this Ohio State defense tonight.
Now this Ohio State defense has been relying quite a bit on 51, Michael Hall. He's done a lot of things. His quickness, he's been disruptive. Even when he doesn't come up with a sack, he's blowing plays up from the middle of that defense. How about the recognition? Eyes in the backfield, comes off of the block. Again, being disruptive there, comes up with that tackle, and then the sack finally gets home and brings down Buckner.
Travion Henderson spinning free and ran over Ramon Henderson, who's been taking some blows from Ohio State backs in recent plays. For 11.
That's a different running style from Travion Henderson. C.J. Stroud coming over and giving him some love.
Think you saw Williams over there? So
you know what he did? Hey, you go wear him down on that 95-yard drive, and then I'll come in on the back end of that. Lowered the shoulder.
Roll reversal, right?
Yeah. He was proud of himself, too. Came back to the huddle, clapping.
Well, it's been some unsung stars for Ohio State. It's a deep roster, stacked with future players on Sunday, but it's been some guys that very few outside of Columbus have heard from coming into tonight. Carry to the 33. Holly?
Well, guys, this Ohio State sideline has been absolutely electric after that long drive where they ran the ball down the throat of this defense. Mayan Williams, the offensive line, literally they came skipping off. Ryan Day met them out there screaming, great drive, great drive. They are so fired up that they are finally proving people wrong, showing them that they do have the toughness to run the football. And right before they took the field for this drive, Ryan Day went out there again and hyped them up, screamed in their face. And this offensive line, they are so proud of the toughness they're showing right now, guys.
And Holly, you know it's not just going to be tonight. Other teams are going to use this blueprint, so it's going to be something they've prepared the entire season, knowing they have to have that versatility.
And don't you think, given the narrative, Kirk, and the messaging from Ryan Day, this kind of a win for a lot of the guys in this team is way more satisfying than just all the offensive fireworks and winning a shootout, which they did a few times last year.
Yeah, you get pushed. I mean, this is a good Notre Dame team, as we've seen. I look forward to watching them the rest of the year. They came into this game on the road with an attitude of, hey, we're not going to just be conservative and look for a moral victory. We're coming in here to win it. They were very well prepared. So Ohio State took their best shot, had to change their game plan on the fly, and went back to the old-fashioned way of winning with defense and running the football.
They just need a few inches here on third down, and Stroud's going to keep it. This is a really satisfying win for a lot of reasons. You got the legends of the past, all these former Ohio State greats in football were here. LeBron James, their most famous fan, was here.
And Justin Fields, Chris Olave. I mean, there are so many alums back.
And maybe more importantly, what they hope will be the next wave of Buckeyes. You got 10 uncommitted 5-star recruits. Do you know how crazy that is in the landscape of recruiting?
Oh, yeah.
Most programs would love to have one 5-star. You've got 10 of them, a whole bunch of 4-stars, and all their committed players are here. It's a huge recruiting showcase game. And they get to showcase a great environment in this stadium. And this is maybe Ohio State in 22. We hope Smith and Jigba can come back and be healthy and make an impact. That's for sure.
Let me just say this about Ryan Day and Ohio State. There's a lot of pressure on this team to win every game by 20 points or more. This is a game week 1 against a very talented, determined opponent. This is where you survive. You're proud of how you had to adjust, learn how to win a different way, and move to the next week. You don't dwell on what could have been, what should have been, why did they do this, why did they do that. It's a great win against a good team. You move on to the next game.
Irish and Marcus Freeman will drop to 0-2 as a head coach. It'll get easier. Marshall, Cal, North Carolina next.
This could be a dangerous team and a tough team to beat for anybody they play that's on their schedule.
The Irish battle, follow their blueprint, but a physical Ohio State team scores a touchdown in the third and a touchdown in the fourth quarters to erase a halftime deficit. C.J. Stroud throws for 223. There's Steele Chambers and J.D. Bertrand. They've known each other since they were 4th graders. They played at the same high school. J.D. told me he was waiting for this moment. They texted before the game, didn't meet up, but now they can just hug and show the love for each other.
Won 3 state championships together down in the Atlanta area, so they're